Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today will be our very first episode of Masolo Yakati. In our episode of Masolo Yakati, we will be doing a subject where we will talk about womanhood. I will be having guests that are women, and we will talk among ourselves and give each other advice and ask each other questions and just really have a deep conversation about things that we go through as women that we're not really able to talk about with families or friends and close ones, but we would like to share it with you guys and give you guys our opinions on it and give you guys advice on it. So stay tuned for our first episode, which will be getting started right about now. Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we have a very special guest that we will be presenting very soon, where we will be talking about her career, we will be talking about her religion, and if she has any advice for us, we would love to hear it, so you guys could also get to learn from it and use it for yourselves. So without taking too much of your time, help me welcome my guest. Hey Warda.
Hey girl.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good.
Just happy to be here.
You're happy to be here?
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
A little nervous, but we're here. We got this.
Yes.
We got this.
Yep.
So, I would first like to talk about like your career. Like,
My career.
where are you in life? What are you doing? What did you do in life? And things like that.
Well, I work with kids with behavioral issues. I've been doing that for a year and 5 months.
Mhm.
I'm currently in school to get my master's
Mm-hmm.
in social work. I have my bachelor's in social work. Went to Louisville. I have a passion in social work, so
Okay.
that's why I'm pursuing social work.
Okay. How did you come about doing that as your major? What made you get into social work?
Well, it's funny because I wanted to help people. So like I wanted to help people, and growing up I thought I was going to be a nurse. When I was a little girl I thought I was going to be a nurse, and I grew up and I didn't know what nursing entailed. And so I grew up and I saw all the blood and the bodily fluids and the nasty stuff. So I didn't want to be a nurse. So I'm like, what's close to a nurse? You know, someone that helps people.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I came across social work
Okay.
while I was in college.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of wanting to be a nurse, because I know you're African.
Yes.
And our parents tend to kind of pick for us what we should do before we even get to college. So
Yeah.
did you ever run into those issues?
Yes. You know, I always wanted to be a nurse, right? When I was young, like I kind of wanted to be a nurse. I wanted to be in the medical field. So when I got to college and I was like, this is not what I want. And my parents were like, no, we think you should do it.
They
And
wanted you to do
Yeah,
nursing.
they wanted me to do nursing. They're like, it has great benefits, great pay, and it's somewhere you'll find a job anywhere, you know?
Mhm.
So yeah, they definitely pushed for it, but I just wanted to do social work.
Okay. So when you decided to do social work, did they know what social work was? Because I know in Africa we don't have anything like that. So it's kind of like you have to explain to them what it is and how
Right.
it works and stuff like that. So did
Right.
you run into that issue?
No, actually, I did not run into that issue because, like, when we came to America, well, not me,
Mhm.
when my parents came to America, they knew what a social worker was because, you know, it was those social workers helping them, like, get accustomed to, like, being in this new country. And
Yeah.
they always had an idea, both my
Mhm.
mom and dad, of what a social worker was,
Mhm.
you know? So I didn't have to explain to them what social work was. They just didn't think it was, like, the best, like, career,
Okay.
you know, regarding, like, pay, regarding, like, you know, work, or regarding, like, the stuff that social workers get involved with. They didn't think it was the best.
Mhm.
So thankfully, I did not have to explain to them what a social worker was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go a little bit back in time
Okay.
as far as when you were in school, when you started college.
Right.
How were you able to afford college? What are some things that you did to help you get through that?
So luckily, when I was in high school, I had heard of this. I'm not sure if people are aware of affirmative action. Some people might not know what that
I
is.
don't even know what that is.
That basically, so affirmative action is
Mhm.
like kind of like people that get scholarships for being Mexican, for being black, like for being, you know, and
yeah.
you know, like stuff like that, for being like international, stuff like that. So I was in high school and my brother had gotten this scholarship to Louisville, and it was only for African American students. So he got like a big chunk of money for the scholarship. And I was not bad in school. Like, I stayed on top of my grades and stuff. So I was like, maybe I should apply for the scholarship. So I got also a big scholarship from Louisville, and then I got some grants, and I was able to go to Louisville.
Oh, that's how you were able to afford
it.
school.
Yeah.
So do you have any loans right now? Like
Oh,
any
yeah.
student loans?
Yeah.
You do.
Yep, because I was in school for 5 years, not 4.
Right. And
Yeah.
you're still planning on like doing your master's, so you'll be taking out more loans.
Right. So with my master's, I was able to get a grant. Currently I take one class. The grant covers that. But in the near future, when I start to pick up more classes, I might have to look into some loans. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't want to know how much loans you have, of course, but do you think like the system is kind of fair as far as like, so when I say system, I mean like just the US and how like things go in the US. Do you think it's fair to have loans, and like do you think you'll be able to pay it off when you're done with schooling? Because I know a lot of people that have loans and they just kind of like
whatever,
push it to the side, like let me live my life. I'm not paying for that.
Right.
So like, do you think they do it because they get caught up on a lot of money to pay back?
Yeah.
Or do you think they do it because like, okay, now I'm out of school, like what you gonna do about it?
Right.
Type thing.
I think a little bit of both. One, a lot of people have gone to school and they have like over $50,000 in loans, and now they're like, well, I'm not gonna pay that. Like, who has that kind of money? Like, exactly. I got bills to pay.
We don't have that kind of money.
Literally, we have bills to pay. We're barely living paycheck to paycheck, So people are like, I'm not paying that money. Yeah. And then there's people that are like, well, when Joe Biden was president, I'm sure a lot of you are aware, he had promised student loan forgiveness. He did. So a lot of those people were banking on that he would just clear out their debts. So I'm not gonna pay it. Yep. Why am I putting money towards something that I'm not gonna have to pay anyways? So that's why I feel like it's like a mix of both. Okay. I'm not gonna pay it because it's a lot of money, and then also they might cancel it one day. So why pay it?
Okay.
Yep.
So now that we got that out of the way, let's dive into your religion.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about your religion, if you're religious or anything like that.
All right. So I am Muslim.
Okay.
Well, I grew up Muslim. I was raised Muslim. I was raised in a very traditional Muslim household. I would say I'm pretty modern. I still believe in Allah. Like, I still follow Islam, but I'm very modern. Growing up, very traditional parents. Like, they will not miss a prayer. Like, my mom was always covered up. My grandma was always covered up. Like, they expected me to cover up. So, like, I grew up in a very, very religious household, They would not miss a beat. But I think with me, like, growing up here in America and, like, being around, like, certain influences, like, I kind of became my own person.
So you think you became, like, the phrase Americanized?
Oh, yes.
Like, that's the phrase people back home use against us. Like, you're too Americanized, or you're not African anymore, you don't know how to speak your language, yada, yada. And so that's a real thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not Americanized, I feel like. I feel like I'm still fully, like, African.
Right.
I just live in America. Regardless of, like, how long I've been here, I feel like I'm still kind of, like I still classify myself as African.
Right. And let me not take that away from you. I also feel the same. Like, nobody can ever take my roots from me. So, like, when I did go back home last summer, and a lot of them were like, oh, she is too Western.
Yes.
Western Americanized. Like, she's too much of that.
Yeah.
So, like, but I still know my roots because at the end of the day, like, when I come back to America, I know the household I was raised in. Again, I was raised in a very traditional household. Like, my dad will not even speak English to us, Yes.
Really?
So, yes. Yep.
Okay. Was that able to help you? Like, do you speak your language?
Somali, yep.
You speak Somali.
Yeah.
So, do you think that helped you learn it more until this age?
Yes.
Yes. Because you were born here?
Yes. I was born in New York. So I am American. I always say I'm the best of both worlds.
Okay.
Like, I am American. I grew up here. I was born here, born and raised. But it's like nobody can take away my roots from me.
Right. And you fully speak
my language.
Your language.
Yeah. Yep.
Good. Because there's a lot of Africans that bring their kids here when they're babies, younger.
Yeah.
And they act like they don't speak their language. And it's like, that's crazy to me because it's like, are you embarrassed to speak your language or what? It's an advantage. Because I translate for certain people, like at schools and like hospitals and stuff like that. So for me, it's like, it brings me peace knowing that, like, wow, my parents did a great job teaching. Like, I still know my language. So it's like when I meet like younger teenagers that are like, that act like they don't want to speak their language or eat for it. Yeah, they're too cool for it, or they don't want to eat their food.
Right.
They act too Americanized, and I'm just like, Wait till you grow up.
Right.
Hopefully you figure it out.
Right. And then usually that's how it works.
Yeah.
Because like when I was in school and it was you know what's crazy to me? Like I don't mean to get sidetracked. It was always the boys that would be like kind of too cool.
It's always the boys.
You know, and us girls, we stuck together.
Yeah.
And then now they get older and now they're fully trying to embrace it.
Yeah.
So it's like.
It's always the boys.
But you know, they try to fit in with all like the Americans.
Yeah.
The actual American. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, oh no, I don't do all that. Like, oh, I don't eat that. I don't, like you said, I feel like it was always the boys. And now they're more immersed in it than we are as girls.
So since you're not like fully Muslim, I would say, because you don't do like the praying things and all that. Like, how do your parents feel about that?
Well, so this is a sticky one. My parents, they're again traditional. Like they do not miss a beat. They always try to encourage me.
Okay.
To like be more in tune with the religion.
Okay.
And not even just the religion, their traditions, their culture. Mm-hmm. You know, they're like, you know, God is the highest power. You know, He's the God we serve. You know, just try to do this. Like, you know, they encourage me. They never belittle me. It's more so like encouragement. Okay. Right. So like, would they like me to be more religious? For sure. Okay. Yeah. So like,
I know you guys have Ramadan.
Ramadan. Yes,
Ramadan. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, how does it work? How long? And what you guys cook and stuff like that.
Okay. So Ramadan is 30 days. You fast from when the sun comes up. So sunrise to sunset. Nothing goes in your mouth. So that window. Yes. That window you do not eat or drink anything. Not even water. Okay.
Not even water?
Not even
do you
water.
brush your teeth?
Yes, you can only brush your teeth. That's all you can do.
Okay, you can brush your teeth, but you can't drink water. You can't eat. You can't.
No coffee, nothing.
Can you work? If you have, you go to work?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It might be a long day, but you have to go to work. You got to bill. You have bills to pay. You know.
Right.
So once sunset hits, that's when like you can start eating, and then from sunset, like let's say sunset is 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Up until like 5 a.m. sunrise again. That's the only window you have to eat. Okay. And then like usually during Ramadan, it's like very festive. So the family gets together. Everybody cooks a lot of dishes. Mostly people like, you know, Muslims are very diverse. There's Arab Muslims. There's North African Muslims. There's West African Muslims. There's East African Muslims. There's American Muslims. There's Muslims everywhere. So like whatever you like to cook, whatever's like your traditional like dish. You know what I mean? We just cook all that. And then like we have like when it's time to break the fast, like we have like first you pray. So it's like the Maghrib prayer is when they break their fast. So then you pray, and then everybody sits at the floor, the table, whatever, and then eats. Okay. Yeah.
So what do you do on that time during that time? Since you don't really.
I mean, I try my best. I do.
You do. You still try.
Yes.
Okay.
Because to me, it's like more so not even a religious thing. It's like a detox. It's a healthy detox.
Okay.
Because you detox from a lot. Let's say people that are like to smoke or do recreational drugs, they can detox from that. People that like to drink, people that like to, even girls like that like to, let's say, dress less modest. It's time. It's like a time to cover up. People that don't want to listen to music, like they don't. Well, it's not really permitted during Ramadan. Ramadan is literally a complete detox. Like everything is detoxed.
No cursing, no arguing, no fighting, nobody, none of that.
Yes. So to me, it's very peaceful.
Okay, so you do it more so to detox and not really as far as like it's a religious thing. You do both.
Yes.
So do you pray?
Yes.
You pray and you're fasting and you're actually like committed to it.
Yes.
Even though you're not Muslim. Well,
I am Muslim.
You're Muslim, but like
I'm like a modern type of Muslim.
Type. Yeah. So you're like 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah, in a sense. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But I mean Ramadan is just like I think it's like a rebirth period. Like you know, just gets your like mind right.
Okay, so you can only eat like in the afternoon, like after.
No, not even afternoon. You can eat after the sun sets from when the sun comes back up. So nighttime.
Oh, nighttime.
Yeah. During the day is 45.
Nighttime. Okay.
Yeah.
What time is that usually?
So
like 8?
Yeah,
9?
like so Ramadan is not like a consecutive, like you know how you guys have Christmas and it's always in December. Yeah, it's always on December 25th. Yeah, Ramadan kind of like shifts. It goes with the moon. So last year it started like March 16th. I remember when it started, and then it ended like April 11th. This year it'll start like on March 1st or February 28th. And then it'll end March 30th. So it kind of moves up.
It moves around.
Yep. Like it moves gradually up and up and up.
Okay.
So let's say like this year, I think like the sun will rise around 5 or 6, and then it'll set around like 6, 7 or 8. Like, you know, it's 12 hours of fasting.
When you guys are in the Ramadan period, do you pray as a family Or do you pray individually?
Individually.
Individually.
Yeah. Unless you go to the mosque and then everyone's praying together.
Oh, like even at home, everybody has like their
Yeah.
own. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
I thought
everyone has
like,
their own little prayer mat.
You have a mat?
Yeah, everyone does.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I know you have a younger brother. Does he also know how that whole thing works?
Which one? I have a lot of brothers.
The one I met.
The 9-year-old?
Yes.
No.
What does he do during that time?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Just be a kid.
Aww.
No, it's not really permitted until you like kind of hit puberty.
And you fully accept it on your own.
Yep.
That's real.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what you guys eat.
Okay.
Do you eat pork?
No pork.
Why?
So in Islam, pork is not permitted.
Can you tell us why?
Well, it's not permitted because it's seen as like a dirty meat. I've never grew up eating it, so I have no desire to eat it. Mm-hmm. And then also growing up, again, like I grew up in a very traditional household. So my parents told us like, we don't eat pigs. We're Muslim. It's considered dirty.
So did you ever look into it on your own to find out why Muslims don't eat? Or that was just something you were told and you're like, okay.
Yep. Okay. That was something that was just a big no-no. Like it was just a big yuck. Like, okay, do not eat pork. So I was stuck to that.
Huh.
Yes.
That's amazing. Yep. That's amazing what
And I swear it's just like, because it's just one of those things like, I wish you were like in my shoes kind of, because I feel like you'd understand more. It's like, I don't know, let's say, what's in your culture or religion, like what's something that's a big no-no that you were told was a no-no and you just never did
As far as food?
Yeah, nothing.
I can't really think of anything right now. But there are certain things that like they already tell you growing up you can't do. Like for example, if you're walking in the street and you pick up money, you can't pick up money,
Yeah.
Leave it. You don't know why it's there. You don't know who it belongs to. You can't like take people's things. You can't eat at people's houses.
Yeah.
Things like that. Like I still do it as an adult where like I'll go to somebody's house and I could be super hungry. And I'm gonna be like, no, I'm good. I'm not eating. I'm not drinking. Like I grew up like that. So it's like, I understand.
Yeah.
There are certain things your parents tell you and you're just like, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Noted.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
All right. What are some advantages and disadvantages that you have about your religion?
Okay, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
So advantages, I feel like when it comes to Islam, especially the way I was raised, it protects you. It protects you from a lot of things. Okay. So like, let me give you an example. Like having kids out of wedlock is a big no-no. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that protects you, especially me as a woman. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because like, I don't want to come off like judgmental, but it's like, that's one thing I really will never do.
Like have kids outside
of
like,
I'm not no baby mama. Yeah, absolutely not.
Okay.
I deserve to be a wife. Like, you want a baby, you need to marry me.
I like that. Yeah.
That is one thing, like, absolutely not. Like, It does protect you.
Yes.
Now, like, look, you had a baby with, and nowadays, no shade. A lot of people are having kids by people they don't even know.
People they don't even want to have kids with you.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? So why put yourself in that situation? You know what I mean? So that protects me. That protected me a lot. Because I know what I want. You know what I mean? So that's not going to happen. Mm-mm. And then besides protecting you, I feel like it keeps you on the right path in a sense. Because, like, I know people, like, in general, the stereotype is that Islam is very strict. It is very radical. That's the stereotype out in this world. I feel like it's there for a reason, though. You know what I mean? Right. Because a lot of the rules, it is to protect, like, oh, don't do alcohol, don't do drugs, don't do this. Because, bad things can come from stuff like that. When you're too high or you're too drunk, you know?
You make mistakes.
Yep. Mistakes like being a baby mama. So, like
being a baby mama, all that stuff.
Yep. Yep. So, I think that's a big advantage. I think it keeps you on the right path and protected. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. No. So, do you want to have children? Like, say you get married today. Yeah. You find the love of your life.
The man, the one.
The man, the one.
Yeah.
Does he have to be Muslim? Will your parents accept any other person?
They will not. They will not. Sorry, Mom and Dad, they will not. I gotta be honest.
So they will not accept anybody else. So you have to marry a Muslim.
Yes, but I kind of do want to be with Muslim only because I don't want to cook bacon. I don't want to cook pork. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm okay with being like being with a Muslim that's just like kind of like me. Americanized.
Okay. Americanized, but still Muslim.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we still have the same ideas, but we also can do our own thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if I was to not bring a Muslim home, yeah, they would probably not approve because they want something they know, and they're very strong. My parents are very, not just my parents, my whole family, my extended family, my immediate family, they're all like strong on their faith, you know? So and I feel like it would cause confusion if you do have kids.
True.
If you're with like a Jew and then you're a Muslim and they just don't know what's going on, you know?
So is that the case for your brothers also? They also have to marry a Muslim girl, or is it just you? Okay, everybody.
Yeah, my parents, they want one thing and that's that.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't do, oh, you're a boy, you're a girl. They're like, nope.
Everybody.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Because African parents tend to do that.
Oh yeah, well, it does exist. There will be certain topics or subjects that will come up, and they'll be like, "Well, you're a girl. I don't like that." That's one thing I'm very against.
Like, I know in my culture, a lot of our parents don't let the girls go out for college.
Oh yeah, yes. Yeah. That was my culture.
They like to keep you
home until you're married.
Yep. And it's like, what if I don't want to be married? Exactly. Y'all just don't know.
Exactly. And you know what I was told as I was young? A woman doesn't leave her house till she's married.
You were told that.
And I still left and went to college and came back. Yeah.
I grew up with that also.
Yep.
So I feel like all Africans are very
similar.
We are
similar in a lot of different ways. Yep.
We're all similar in a lot of different ways.
And that is true. Is that Congolese culture?
Yeah.
Yep. Same. We do not leave the house.
You ain't going nowhere until you're married.
Yep. There is no roommate.
That means married. He gives all the money he needs to, all of that. It doesn't mean engaged and you're a baby mama and you get to move in. No, married.
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
So when you do get married, I mean, are you gonna be like are you gonna teach your kids your religion?
Yes. I feel like I will, only because it was like passed down to me. I don't want them to have no identity. Because I feel like when we come here to America and then we're raised by like African parents and then we go out into the society and we're around like the Americans and or other people, we tend to start losing ourselves. So imagine having no guidance in your home and then you go out, they're going to be more lost. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah. Okay. But I'm not going to be like, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to, like, I'm not going to do all that.
So you're going to be like that cool mom that still have expectations for your kids.
Yes. But I don't want kids. I might change my mind.
You don't want kids?
Yes. But, the thing is, I do want to be married. And a lot of men get married to have kids.
True. A lot of men, they want 1 or 2 or 5. Depends.
Yeah. So I say pending. It's a pending kind of thing.
It's pending. Like if you find the right person and you feel like it's time, you'll have kids.
Yes.
But you're not going to be a baby mama.
No, ma'am.
I respect that. 100%.
That's the dumbest thing a woman can do. Sorry to baby mamas.
At least somebody else is thinking like me. That is one of the dumbest things.
Once you do that, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over. I mean, it's really rare. And people will be like, oh, I'll find a stepdad and a man that'll marry me.
No,
that's rare.
Like that lowers your chances of getting married.
For sure.
That lowers the chances.
People are going to be like, you already did everything.
Yeah, you already have a kid.
Yep. I'm not doing it. I will never do it.
I like that.
Yeah.
So, I know Muslim men are allowed to marry what? 4, 5,
4 wives,
6, 10,
4,
15, 20. 4.
They're permitted 4 wives. Yes, that is true.
That is true.
Yes.
So, if you get married and your husband's like, "Where Warda?
I want another one."
What's
be like, goodbye.
Really?
Yes.
That's your religion. How are you going to say goodbye?
It is my religion, but like, okay, people think, let me say this. There's rules to it. There are rules to it. It's not.
There are rules.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tell us the rules, because
the main rule that a lot of
we don't know.
A lot of rules these men forget is that you have to be able to take care of both.
Both or
on your own.
Or all of them?
All of them. How many ever, you're allowed 4, right? How many ever you have to take care of them. Like, you know how you have your house, your husband pays for everything? He needs to do that for all 4. They need to have all their own houses. The kids need to be taken care of. And she does not put a cent into the house.
Oh. They can't live together?
Nope. No. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. And if you can't do that, you're not permitted. What you're doing is like taboo.
Really?
Yes. And they still, I mean, of course they abuse it.
The same rule applies here in America?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Do you know anybody?
Yeah, I do. Well, one will be here and one will be in Africa, obviously.
Obviously.
They know better.
They're trying to go broke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not with that. You're not with that. So before
it's at the woman's discretion too. Another taboo thing is like, if let's say you have the first wife. you disappear or whatever, and you go get married in Africa, or you get married here, and she don't know about it. That is haram, forbidden. Haram, halal. You know we say haram and halal.
Uh-huh.
That is definitely forbidden because you went behind your wife's back.
So she has to approve.
Of course.
And then, is it only the first wife that has to approve for all 3 wives?
Oh no, it's like a concubine kind of
it goes on and on.
Yeah.
Like, so if the first one
Yeah.
agreed and the second one agrees and the third one, and
Yep.
oh,
But
it's like a
there's
whole
rules to
process.
it. Like all of them need to have their house. All your kids need to be taken care of. And you know, in Islam, it's true. The woman does not. When you marry a woman, that means you're taking responsibility for that woman.
Exactly.
That means the bills will be paid.
Mhm.
That means when you get her from your dad, like
she's not going back.
Yep. And then the dad knows that my daughter's responsible with you. That's like she will not be homeless. She will not go without. So that's for a woman you have to take care of, and a lot of them it goes over their head.
Wow.
So that's why
they do abuse that.
Of course they do, especially in Africa. And here,
like men will be here and still have like 3 girls back home, and just and then the one that's here doesn't even.
No, she don't know.
She don't know.
And the girls over there don't know that he's coming from America and he has a whole family. It's awful. That's and they don't know that, like, again, they're sinning. Mm-hmm. That's like a sin.
That's a sin.
Yep. And so when they say, "Oh God, let me have 4,"
are you sure about that?
Right.
Wow.
Right. But it is at your discretion. It's not, oh, it's our religion, so I have to accept it. If you don't want it, you can leave them. Uh-huh. But that's always something that should always be discussed before getting married. That's also a sin, like, for him to, like, marry you and then be like, well, now I want more wives. No.
So it's something that you have to already know going into the marriage.
You want to be monogamous?
You don't just make up your mind like, oh, I want another wife.
Right.
Okay, so this is like something you guys already have to talk about.
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
It goes over a lot of their heads.
Is the woman allowed to say how many wives he can have?
No.
So he gets to decide that?
Yes. Well, the max is 4. The cap is 4.
The max is 4.
Yeah.
So you can't be like, you're allowed to, but only 1, or you're allowed to, but only 2. Okay.
I said,
if he's going to do it, he needs to.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think your parents will be okay with you not allowing that, or you think they'll like be like, it's our religion?
Oh, they will definitely not say that, because you know why?
Why?
My dad has only been with my mom. Never got another woman.
Okay.
Had all 12 kids with her. So I don't want to hear none of that. He wouldn't even, like, my dad, he would be like, no, you're not doing that. No, like, leave him. Like, he would stick up for me. Like,
yeah. Because I know a lot of African parents,
they stick up for the husband.
They stick up for the husband because they feel like they owe them some type of respect.
Right.
When it's really like, he's abusing your daughter.
Exactly.
Like,
and they think if it's not physical, they think it's not abuse.
Yeah, if it's not physical, they think it's not abuse, but they don't think about like the mental or the emotional abuse that comes with marrying these African men.
Exactly.
Like, there's a lot that goes into it that we're like, in my culture, there's this saying like, "Kangamutema," like, just take everything. Yeah. Basically, just take it all. If he's not abusing you, he's paying your bills, you're fine.
Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Yeah,
take it all. Like that's the advice they give you. Like, you can go to your mom crying like he cheated on you. Yep. She'll be like, oh, and then your dad cheated on me, and we're still here 30 years strong. And it's like, then you feel stupid. Like, should I even feel like this? So this is okay for him to do. Where it's like, instead of them like sticking up for you and having a conversation with him, or I don't know, something, they'll more likely put it on you instead of the partner.
Yep. And you know what's crazy? Now that you say that, I remember watching, so it's like this girls group on Facebook. Yeah. Somali girls. Especially the ones that live in USA and Canada. We had this little forum thing going on Facebook. And this woman was complaining about her husband, and, you know, he's been slacking on the bills lately, and, like, he wants her to chip in or whatever, and he's been, like, very verbally abusive, saying that she's gotten fat since they got married. And you know, most of the comments, what they were? If he's not beating you, if he doesn't have an addiction issue, if he doesn't have other kids somewhere, don't divorce him. Divorce is shameful.
Yeah, they look at divorce as like the worst thing you
my
could
culture
ever
too.
do.
Yeah, my culture too. And then, like, once you get divorced, like, especially as a woman, they look like, oh,
it's divorce and having kids outside of marriage. Yep, that's too. Like a big deal.
Me too.
Yeah,
me too.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, yep. And then people in my country that do get pregnant before marriage, like, you know, there's no abortion out there, so they do some sad things, like they had the pregnancy and then
like kill the child or something,
or drop the child off somewhere. And then people will be like, oh, I found a baby outside the trash can. You know, and also, as much as I am, like, so against baby mama and baby dad culture, I do wish in Africa, especially my country, there's a little more understanding. It might not be the best choice, but like let's not because they shame very
like abortions.
no that, but they shame like let's say they see a pregnant woman and she's not married, like they will shame her so bad.
Okay.
I just wish they were like not as shameful. Yeah. That's why people do things like kill the baby or like throw the baby in the trash. Okay. You know.
How do you feel about abortions? Take a sip.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Do you think?
Okay, I will say.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I will say, I don't believe we should ban it because it's not my choice. You know, whatever somebody has going on in their life, it's not my business to be like, no, you need to have that baby.
Yeah.
You know, I do get like this is one of a very sensitive topic.
Yeah.
But for someone to be like, ban it, you had sex, have the baby, like, it's not. I don't know what that person has going on in their life, and once they have the baby, they're on their own. None of us are helping them, so that's how I feel. Do you have differing opinions?
No, I think I feel the same way because it's like I kind of look at it like I would rather not put that child through something that I already know is not going to be like promising.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Like having to like put them up for adoption.
Oh yeah, and
or
I'm sure you've seen some kids
mistreating them.
You've seen some kids. We both.
Yeah,
seen.
I've seen kids.
Yeah, there's
I'm like,
well,
if your parents would have aborted you, I wouldn't be mad at that.
Right.
Because you're going through some tough stuff right now.
Right.
So I have mixed emotions about it. But are you aware that like married people also get abortions?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with. I'm fine with it. Like it has nothing to do with me. So I don't have.
No, I mean like when I ask these questions, I'm talking more about like for you.
For me?
Like, as far as you, if you were married, and say, for instance, you're like, okay, we're only going to have 2 kids, and oops, you have a third.
If we're married, I might as well just have it.
You might as well have it.
Yeah.
So how long are you going to continue to have these kids?
Until I get my tooth tied. I'll get my tooth tied before I go do some shit like that.
Really?
We already got married. We committed to each other. We already have kids.
But being committed to each other doesn't mean y'all got to have 10 kids out here.
Well, I would not let it get to 10, but I know what you mean. You guys
talk about it. You know, some women don't know when to stop.
Yeah.
They just produce.
Yep. But especially
every
African
year
women,
she's pregnant. Every year.
Women, especially, you know.
Yeah.
You know. So I know what you mean. Like we talked about having only 2 kids, and now I'm pregnant with the third.
Yeah. What do you do?
I would just have it, but this time I'll be serious. Like I would tie my tubes.
How do you know you're gonna be serious next time?
Because my tubes will be tied.
Your tubes will be tied. I know people that got their tubes tied and still get pregnant.
I don't know.
So
Mother Nature's against us.
Yeah. She's not a fan.
Yeah.
So yeah, just stuff like that. It's hard. It's hard to know like what you're gonna do when you're in that situation. So that's why it's like it's important not to judge people.
Yeah.
Unless you know like somebody's actual like situation.
Yeah.
Then yeah, but you can't say.
I know. And you know where we're from, Congo might be different. Somalia, there is no abortion.
They don't have hospitals that do that.
None.
Do people practice it illegally?
Of course.
Okay. Illegally, yes, but like there's no hospital that's like, oh, like here, for example, like you can go to St. Elizabeth. For example, I don't know if they do it there, but for example, you go to St. Elizabeth and you're like, okay, I want to get an abortion. Like, okay, and they'll support you and
Do they have some clinics in Congo out there?
I don't know.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. I
know
people do it, but I don't know if they do it illegally or if they actually go and get it done.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I would assume illegally.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yep. Same.
I would assume.
Yep. So, yep.
That is hectic.
I'm definitely more of a pro-lifer. Or not a pro-lifer. Pro-choice.
Pro-choice.
Like, because again, I don't know what somebody has going on. It's not right for me to be like, you need to have that baby. Like, who am I? You know, but I know how people are like, religious people especially, they're like, you're like taking a life, you're killing somebody. So.
But they don't know you're thinking, I would rather kill them than
make them struggle.
Or having to put them through mom and dad not getting along or them not feeling loved by a certain parent.
Exactly.
Like they don't think about that.
Long term. Nope.
Long term.
They're thinking in the moment.
They're thinking like, oh my God, you're killing the baby.
Like I was telling you earlier when I went to Africa last year in Kenya, like how in America, and you know I was telling them this. When I went back home, I was telling them in America, if your parents you get taken away from your parents don't want you no more, you're gonna be somewhere where you have a bed, where you have heat, and where you have food as a child.
Yeah.
I went over there and I'm seeing all kinds of kids in the street asking me for like a snack of like whatever I have in my purse. Like, and I'm like, I cannot believe this. Like, the kids there are so neglected. Like you said, there's no social workers. There's not, Africa's corrupt. They don't even have, you
We
know?
don't have none of that.
Yeah. So it's just like, and then when people are like, oh, how could you kill somebody? And I'm like, look at, you're killing them now when they're on the street with nothing.
Yeah.
So
It's the same thing.
Yep.
It's the same thing.
That's how I feel.
So speaking of Africa, do you have any ideas or any goals that you want to accomplish back home?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Like, I know some people live here, but like they'll have like a foster care system over there.
Right.
Or they'll every once in a year they'll send money to like a orphanage, stuff like that. Do you ever think like that?
I do.
Okay.
I think long term because, I mean, again, I know where my roots are. You know what I mean? America, I was born here, I was raised here, but these are not my roots. My roots are back home.
Yes.
And when I went back home, I felt like I was at home.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You felt connected with your family, even though you've never seen them. That was like your very first time, right?
No. I've been there like 3 different times.
Oh,
but still,
yeah,
my whole lineage was there. You know, so it was just like I've always grown up. You know what me and my family and a bunch of people have heard, like, get your education here, get your career here, and go back home and rebuild.
Go back home to rebuild.
Yep. So I've always thought about that, especially when I was doing social work. But you know, with Somalia, like, Somalia is not safe.
Okay.
You know, it's still not civil. What am I saying? There was a civil war, and then it became obviously like there was no laws, there's no government. Like, it's just a hot mess over there. So I was always so scared to like go back and like be that social worker because, you know, being a social worker is also being political in a sense.
Right.
So I was always so scared to do that. But I definitely want to do something. You know what I mean?
You want to do something.
I want to contribute. So. And then my dad is such a big contributor, you know.
Okay. Your dad already does something back home?
Oh, yeah. He's all about back home.
Your mom lives out there, right?
Yes. Okay. She's in Kenya. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's there like full time. She's not coming back.
Yeah, not for a while.
Not for a while.
She'll come back when the kids start to get older and they have to like go to high school. Okay.
Yeah. Do you ever see yourself doing the same thing when you're older? As far as like I'm just going to go back to Africa and live there? Peaceful life instead of paying bills and...
Yeah, yes. But like when I say later in life, I mean like 50, 60.
Yeah, when you're her age. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, she's 40.
Your mom's 40?
Yeah, she had me young.
How old was she when she had you?
19.
Oh my God, this is a whole different topic.
Yeah.
You're the first.
Second.
Okay.
Well, third, but then she lost one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you still count everybody as 12 kids?
Yeah, because she technically carried and had 12. I just say I have like 10 living siblings.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, so you technically have 11.
Yes.
So when you say my mom had 12 kids, one passed away.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But still, 11 is a lot.
Yeah, and most of us were born here.
Most? All of you, right?
No, my older brother was born over there.
And then brought him here.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it was very lovely to have you here today.
Thank you.
We had a very deep conversation, I feel like.
Yes.
Yeah, we had some good times. Yes. Do you have any advice to give to the people that are watching? Young girls like you that are in the same situation as you, or anything that you feel like would have been helpful for you to hear when you were maybe younger,
right?
Just advice for anybody that you
well, first and foremost, I'm gonna say be yourself. You know what I mean? You only get one life. Be yourself, because a lot of times I feel like us young girls, especially young African girls, we're told what we should be. Okay. We're told how we should act. Okay. So I say be yourself. Always be yourself, because then you will not have no regrets. Okay. And do what makes you happy. It's basic advice, but it's true. Do what makes you happy, because you don't want to be like unhappy doing something someone else wants you to do. Okay. So that'll be my advice.
All right. Well, yeah, I like that advice. But let me go back. He's probably gonna edit this part, but I have one more question for you. Yeah. So you still live with your parents, which is cool. Mm-hmm. I would too if I wasn't married. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not trying to move out here and be responsible and have these bills and all. Right. Right. I would still be living with my parents. Okay. Right. And no shame in that. Like, right. No shame at all. So my question is, do your parents ever like pressure you or ask you questions like, when are you getting married?
My mom, no. My dad, he's about it a couple times.
He's done it a couple times. Yeah. Like, well, when are you gonna leave? Because you're the only girl. Yep. You are the only girl. Yeah. So if you don't get married, that means...
me if I want help.
Aww. Like, girl, you want me to find you somebody? Aww.
Yeah. And I mean, he just wants me not to be with like a bad person.
Yeah.
And obviously, he wants someone he knows.
Someone he knows.
Like, as in, like, traditional.
Traditional. Okay. Somebody's tradition where he knows. Okay. We're cool with that tradition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. And, you know, like, he's I told him I'm 25. Excuse me. I told him I'm 25, and he's just like, well, by 40, you will never have kids. Like,
aww.
So,
but you don't feel pressure.
No.
You don't feel pressure. Do you pressure yourself? Do you feel like you put a lot of, you think about it a lot, like, oh my gosh, I'm 25. Like, where's my life going? What am I doing? When am I gonna find somebody? Like, do you ever think like that?
Well, regarding marriage, no, because my life is not in order. I feel like to be married, you have to have your house in order.
Okay.
But like regarding my career and what I want out of life, yes. But not a man for sure. The man can wait. I always think the man can wait.
Till like,
and I know us Africans are stereotypical. You're like, you're getting old.
Yeah.
You're almost 30. You're about to be expired. You know?
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna ask about that. You guys have an expiring date?
Oh yeah.
Because I know we do.
Yep. Back when I was back home last summer, I remember a lot of them telling me like, oh, you're close to 30. You're about to expire, and you know what I mean? You haven't got a man? Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm just like, in my head, I'm like thinking I'm on the right track, you know? Which I am. Again, the man can wait.
Okay.
I think like my career and my life and my future for me,
for you,
is important.
I agree.
So
I agree. No need to ever feel like
you
gotta wait for a man to scoop you up,
right, and save you.
Yeah, no, you can do something out there for yourself.
Exactly.
Ladies. You got this.
Exactly.
Marriage is not meant for everybody.
That too.
So like,
I might never get married, honestly.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay. But
yeah.
but I feel like as women, we don't like to accept that sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
Like, you feel like you have to get married. I'm beautiful, or I have this and I have that. Why am I not married?
Right.
It's just meant to be that way.
Right.
Just like I feel like people that can't have kids, for example, maybe that's just the way it's meant to be.
Yeah.
You can't force it. You know, you can't force it and do all these like treatments and save your eggs and
IVF.
It's just not meant to be. I'm sorry to break it to you, you know?
Right.
Like, I don't want to be mean, but I feel like if Africans don't like to accept certain things, our parents too, like our parents don't like to accept it. Like, oh, maybe my daughter would just be one of those girls that don't get married.
Right. Oh no, it's a big no-no for them.
Yeah.
It's a big no-no. Like, you're right, I'm like 25 now, but like, what if in 10 years, 35, I'm still not married?
Okay.
Yeah, that could be a big no-no. That could be a pressure. Like,
so you not being married doesn't bother you at all?
No.
Are you just saying that for right now, or like even long term? Even when you're 35 and you're 40, you're like, okay, I have no kids, I have no husband, and I'm good.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
You're okay with it?
Yes. Because what's meant to be will be. You know? And then also, I'm worried about me so much. Like, because at the end of the day, a husband can leave you. A husband, unfortunately, God forbid, could pass away. A husband could leave you for somebody else. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like for me to wait around. And again, I want to make sure I'm independent before I can
rely on someone.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I come from a generation of women that got married young and had kids young.
From your mom.
Yeah. So I'm like breaking that cycle a little bit. Yeah.
So say for instance, you're like ready to move out. Will they let you move out?
Yes. I mean, I've left before.
You've left before and came back though. But like going for real, would they let you?
I mean,
knowing that
they would definitely let me, but I'm sure there would be some feelings about it. Like, why not just stay here and save money until you're married? You know, which is
until you're married. But that's the thing. Like, what if you
married
to them and you're like, I don't want to get married. Like, I don't think it's gonna happen. Let's just drop this conversation. I want to be on my own and live my life. Would they be okay with that?
I mean, yeah. And at the end of the day, they're gonna have to be.
They're gonna have to be.
Yeah,
you are an adult.
Yep.
Our parents don't.
They understand that. They treat you like a child.
Like they
tell you that
they think you're still a baby.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 25.
Yeah.
I'm grown.
Yeah.
I got this.
Yep. My dad always says, like, all my kids will be 5 years old to me. That's a lot of them, though. They don't care how old you are. They will still treat you like a baby. They will never understand.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they have no grandchildren as of right now?
No.
No grandchildren?
Just 11 kids, no grandchildren yet.
Wow.
I know my brothers want kids.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
They don't like when I say I don't want no kids, though.
Yeah.
They're like, God's hearing you, which is true.
Why don't you want kids?
Because I grew up in such a big family. I'm the oldest girl of 11 kids.
So
I just feel like I was always like, I was never like, oh my God, how do I say this without coming off wrong? Like, I feel like I was always overstimulated being around kids.
Okay.
There was just so much kids everywhere. Even if it wasn't my own parents, like we have such big families everywhere, so I'd always see kids.
But kids grow up to be adults. They're not going to be a kid forever.
Right, but me growing up, when I was 16, I had a newborn brother. When I was 19, I had a newborn brother. So you know what I mean? I just saw kids everywhere.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for staying tuned. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I hope you share with friends and family. Leave us any questions that you might have, and we will be definitely talking with Warda again, because this topic was very, very interesting and juicy. I was tuned in. I hope you guys were also. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, that was good.
Okay, you liked it?
I was not expecting us to actually not have to